nail techs of the world, I am going to have a fucking mental breakdown if somebody... Okay. Look. Just look. I'm about to do my workout, so like, don't look at me. But I had a couple videos get a bit of attention on here where I was ranting about timing in nail services, and another creator on TikTok, Hippie Vibe Nails, stitched my video, which first of all was very weird to see that pop up on my For You page because I've never had that happen before. And TikTok did not send me a notification. It just popped up while I was scrolling 5 days later. But anyways, I don't know if anyone is interested in this follow-up. It might get a little bit long, but I wanted to respond. So first off, thank you. I appreciate your time. There was some helpful info in there for sure. And then second, I just wanted to respond to a couple things from that video, but also just in general from the comments on my videos also. So number one, I figured out that the majority of my problem is being too much of a perfectionist, like in ways that I don't need to be. After stalking the shit out of Nails by Iran's page, my biggest takeaway was how she just really gets in there and gets it done. Like, we're not overthinking, we're not second guessing, we're not hesitating. Like, get in there and get that shit off the nail and lay the new shit down. Especially when I've been doing this as long as I have. I think a lot of people maybe thought that I was like a beginner, but I've been doing this for 14 years. I do actually know what I'm doing. So why are we thinking about it so much? I don't know. I wasn't dilly-dallying, but I definitely think there could have been like a little bit more pep in my step. Second, I do use one little bit to prep the cuticle area and nail plate, but I don't do a full Russian manicure prep. I use the Arrow Flame Bit from My Nail Stuff. So while yes, I was taking too much time on this step, I don't think I'm going to go back to just a regular sanding band, because I found that I think I actually do work faster with a smaller bit, because I don't have to worry about like cutting anyone or turning my hand in the same way that you do with a sanding band in that cuticle area. And it's one that also roughs up the nail enough that I can clean off the cuticle and prep the new growth of the nail plate at the same time. I don't have to like go back in with a sanding band after that step. I learned this from the Nail Whisperer and it does work for me. But I do need to just like swipe and move on. Again, we don't need to be as meticulous as I was being. The next thing is I have timed myself in the past and it did improve my time back then, but I hadn't done it in so long. I think that it really was time to whip that thing back out and just like check back in. And I will say that just doing that has made a huge difference. The next thing is that instead of doing traditional fills, I am removing almost all of the product from all of the nails and then just going in with an almost completely new application. I use hard gel. I don't want to switch that up, so I'm not gonna like soak off and redo another thing. I think that that does put wear and tear on the nail over time, so I do like to just prep the new growth and fill it in. I don't really want to change that, but this was another fussing thing. By just taking off at least like 90% of the product, I don't have to sit there and fuss with each tiny bit of lifting or inspect every single nail to see which ones need that and which ones don't. You just get in there and get it almost all completely removed without getting all the way to the natural nail. And I feel like doing that, any little bits that have lifted, like kind of just come off on their own in that process. And then she says something about my flash curing light, and I do flash cure my nails as I go, and let me explain why. I learned this from Diana Nailed It. And when I saw it, I realized that it was going to solve a lot of my problems. Because given my particular clients, it actually improves my time. And here's why. So I used to do the back and forth thing, but it was actually fucking up my time because my clients are clumsy and they don't pay attention. Like, I love you guys, but it's true. They're bumping their nails on the light, and then I have to rebuild, repaint. They're accidentally touching things, so I'm having to pick off sweater lint and makeup and whatever else. And then on top of it, it seems like it's pretty straightforward to just alternate your hands back and forth. But I was experiencing a delay in getting their hand back. I can't tell you what all they're doing in the mere seconds that they have their hand in between taking it out of the light and handing it back to me, but it's things, okay? I don't know. It just seemed like I was constantly finding myself holding my hand out, waiting for them to give me back their hand. So, all of that being said, I have found that working on one hand and flash curing as I go, and then having them stick their hand in the big light at the end, and then moving to the next hand, has actually made things go by faster. If they hit their hand on the light, it's fine because it's already flash cured. And then there's less of an opportunity for them to get things stuck to their nails because there's not as much back and forth. I have their hand the whole time. And it gives them more time with each of their hands. Like, I think that they're not coming in on top of it as I am, because like I'm here to work, you know, and they're here to relax, which is fine. I like providing that for them. So, you know, they're burnt out, they're feeling slow, it's their day off, or it's their day on and having to work from their phone during their appointment, which also is fine. This is the sacrifice that I've decided to make so that I could work during the week and not have to work on the weekends anymore. And yes, I think I could be stricter and just be like, sorry, no, you can't do anything but focus on what we're doing. But I have found that the flash curing just kind of already solves that problem, so like whatever, I'm not worried about it. They get to have one of their hands available to them for much longer periods of time. They can scroll their phone or type their emails or whatever it is that they're doing to entertain themselves while I work, which also saves me time because then I don't have to try and multitask as much. I have gotten good at like keeping my head down and like working while I'm talking, but it still is a bit of a challenge for me. And I do have a TV in my room, but not everybody likes to use it. So it's fine. If they have their hand, they can do whatever they're doing, and then I can fully focus on what I'm doing. So with all of that being said, I feel like posting that video actually helped me a lot to highlight the things that I can fix. And it mostly came down to stop being such a perfectionist. Like, we want quality, but the level of fixating and fussing I was doing was too much. Like, pull it back and get in there and get it done. Plus, timing myself and being able to see how long things are taking as I go. These two things alone have literally shaved about 30 minutes to an hour off my service time since I posted that original video, which is insane. I'm still doing all the same steps and using the same tools. I'm just not fussing over every detail, and I'm tracking my time and basically racing myself. So yeah, I feel like I can close this case and move on. Thank you all for your help.